Welcome back everyone to Kerbal Space Program, and today we're going to try out the aircraft. We're going to try constructing one ourselves, see how absolutely horrible that goes, try to get one that'll come off of the ground, maybe if we're lucky circle the area and land without completely being destroyed. But let's not count on that too much. One thing I want to discover this episode too is apparently these buildings are destructible now, so we're going to crash something into them at some point. So let's head on down and construct an aircraft. We could just try one of the ones there, just zipping around. If you watch these Kerbals, some of them do some pretty silly things. But okay, let's build an aircraft. I don't know which cockpit is best. There's various sizes you can use. No idea which one's best. There's two cockpits linked together. Maybe we'll go with this one actually. So let's use some rocket engines. We're going to need fuel for those. Hopefully I get the right kind of fuel. I imagine liquid fuel is what we need. I know this is what I use for the rockets. Liquid fuel and oxidizer, and just liquid fuel. Okay. Huh, right. Is this what I need? Is this what I need? Let's... So that was liquid fuel. Let's go ahead and just check. So we'll run a very quick and crude turbojet engine. Basic jet engine. Let's just strap an engine on and go ahead and launch the thing and see what happens. Hopefully it doesn't explode as soon as it touches the runway. Alright, very nice. I guess that means it is the wrong type of fuel. Unless I need intake. Oh my god, there's so many questions. Alright, really should have researched these things first. No problem. Let's... Fuel. Well, the ones that are fuselage, it's gotta be, isn't it? This is one chock full... This one is chock full of jet fuel. Yeah, that's the right one. Maybe I just didn't have a... Maybe I need an air intake for that engine or something. We're gonna go with it. We're gonna see what happens. We're going to also not use that one, though. We're going to... We need one that adapts in size. Switch it over to something a little bit larger. Because, you know, go big or go home. These are fuel filled as well. Are they not? Pretty sure they are. Although, actually, does this have fuel in it? One engine's not enough. Got you covered. No fuel in that. So let's grab that. This has fuel. We'll use the bicoupler here. There we go. We can strap on a couple engines into the back of this thing. Give it some wings and maybe it'll work if we're lucky. Turbojet. A highly advanced turbine engine using space-grade materials for our very high performance. This model features the latest in thrust vectoring and compensation technology. This engine is designated to operate best at higher altitudes and speeds, and engineers from C7 Aerospace assured all of us those leaks stop once it gets up there. That's concerning. Then we will obviously need wings. We will need a tail. That music sounds very loud to me. Symmetry is our friend. That should do. I don't know if that'll work very well as a tail. We'll find out the hard way. We'll grab a delta wing for each side. I don't know if it's best to have it straight or if it angled like that is fine. But we'll do something like that, and we'll... What do we have for other pieces? There's more on the next page. Air intake. We could do something like that. We could put it on the bottom. We want gear down there though. Let's put it on the top. I don't know how much difference that actually makes, but we'll try it. That'll help those engines if they get more oxygen, which I don't know if that's what they really need too much of if they work better at high altitudes, but anyway, let's use it. And we need proper wings. Let's go back to the symmetry thing. Seems like a small set of wings for the back of that thing. Alright, let's move these slightly backwards as well to where they're straight. And then I'm going to put... Is this what I need? These are control surfaces, right? Just another one of these little thing. I believe it is. It appears to be. Alright, let's give it a try. That one's small though. Let's try a slightly bigger one. I don't know if it's good to have lots or just a couple big ones, or... I wonder if this would fly. Let's get gear, and then we'll see if this even has enough thrust and lift to take off. So where was the gear? Utility? Rechargeable battery pack? We can put a ladder on the side of the cockpit so they can climb back up. There we go, that should do. And the landing gear, because we got distracted. Retractable gear would be nice. That's a small gear bay. Is there a larger one? Those are rover wheels. We don't want... There's no large gear bay. That's not what I put on there. No. Okay, I thought maybe I put the wrong thing on there at first. And... I could have just put a ladder on the side. Oh, I guess we're going with a small gear. Hopefully that can hold up. And let's turn on symmetry. Oh man, they're angled something bad. It'd be nice to have a couple towards the back that are put apart a distance. Let's put one at the front there, that's straight. And then we need two at the back for balance, because otherwise it'd be like a bicycle standing still. It doesn't work very well. Landing struts, well, we're not taking off vertically, so that won't work. Alright, so the best way would illuminate it. That's not what I was looking for. There was something that looked like that before. Probably structural. Decoupler isn't what I want. What was it? A beam? Maybe that's the... Maybe they replaced it with a beam. Beam Pocket Edition? I wonder if I can make this work. It seems heavy though. Probably is. I could read it and find out, but that's a lot of work. Structural panel to strap one of those to the bottom. Put the gear on that. That's not level either. Can I put them somewhere where they're going to be level? Other than right there? Oh, we'll have to try this. This might work. I'm just going to make sure I don't slam the engines into the ground when I take off, because that would be slightly problematic. It doesn't come out very wide either. Move the gear back a little bit. We'll see if this works. This might not work at all, but we will find out. And I can name it after a movie, like Failure to Launch. What's a really smart name? I wish I was good at coming up with these smart remarks like this, but I'm not. Will it fly? We'll give it a number, just because I am sure there will be a lot more uncertain things. Oh, there must be a... Okay, Bob Kerbin is still on the runway. He must have been there from an earlier flight that had failed. I don't remember how he got there. How would the crew have got there? I don't know. Anyways, let's see if we can even take on... Let's see if this thing even works. Well, cross your fingers. That's a good sign. Oh god, how do I fly this? This is all gonna go so bad so fast. Get some speed up. Hopefully it doesn't disintegrate. I don't know how fast we need to be going. We need to be going faster than this. We're not gonna have enough lift. We need more lift. We weigh way too much. Pull up! Pull up! Woo! Gear! Gear up! I think we're barely flying. What's that? What's the Kerbin's name? Rohat Kerbin? He looks scared. I feel scared for you, guy. Whoa! Okay, we have enough control surfaces there. If we turn an SAS, that helps stabilize it a bit. Oh my god, this thing. Let's see if we can somewhat turn. I'm going to try to come back for a landing. Oh god. Don't adjust too quickly or we'll fall out of the sky. Completely destroy our speed. And lift and everything else that comes with that. There is a second runway hidden, or there used to be, way over there somewhere. I think I landed on it once upon a time, but... Okay, we are barely keeping altitude. Our speed is falling. I don't know what speed we need minimum to stay in the air. I would like to stay in the 170s to feel comfortable, though. We're taking this too wide. I don't know if we're going to be able to land it. It's performing reasonably well, though. I mean, it almost didn't take off, but at least it took off, so it's better than some of my previous old attempts from way back when. And it wasn't completely uncontrollable, like most of my attempts do. Then again, I'd always start out and being like, I'm just going to build a simple little aircraft now. It's going to be just enough to fly, and then I'd add 42 wings to it, and 8 engines, and 8 landing gear, and then it'd be, oh, weighs too much. More rockets, more rockets, more rockets, more fuel, more fuel, more fuel, more control surfaces, more wings, and then it was just an ever-ending cycle of death and destruction. Right. Let's see if we can... Oh, I'm not coming into a very good angle, am I? Need to throttle up a little bit more again. I don't think we can make this work. This isn't going to work. Alright. We'll throttle up, go around the mountains in the distance, and try for another pass. Because I don't quite have that aligned right. This thing cannot make it into space because the jet engines will not make it there. I don't think we'll ever get enough momentum to do that either. There was another YouTuber that some of you may know, Kurt J. Mack, who he's how I found out about this game. And he made his own aircraft and flew it to the North Pole and landed it there. And I've never been able to make an aircraft that would fly for long enough to be able to do it. However, this thing kind of raises my confidence again. He did that in a live stream though, and it took him several hours to get there. Just basically flying in a straight line, so I don't know about that. It would suck to be an hour and a half into it, then all of a sudden your plane disintegrate on you. I know you can use time warp, but I think there's kind of iffy things about it. Flying off at an angle so I can loop back around. But yeah, time warp can kind of wreck the physics of your aircraft and cause the parts to come detached. So it's a bad idea to use it. I don't know exactly how it works. I think there's like a basic fast forward and there's like a physics accelerating mode or something. I don't know. I should probably gain some altitude. My fuel's good. Watch my speed when I do this. As long as I keep above like 170, I'll be fine. I'm maintaining 200 easily doing this. Alright, I don't want too much altitude though. This thing is kind of thrown together funny, but it somehow works. I like this new piece that didn't exist before. You know what? I'm going to leave that comment for later that I just thought of. Yeah, I'll leave that comment to myself about what this spacecraft kind of looks like. Oh my god. Alright, coming back around. Airspeed is fine. Altitude is fine. We're not going to try risking flying through the mountains. I will crash and die. There will be much death and destruction. I'm trying to make changes too quickly. We're okay. We were stabilizing. I tried to turn and change my course a few times too much. I need to get back over to the left a little bit more. And then cancel it out and go to the right. We should have an easier time getting on course this time. I gave myself a little more time. Kind of line it up right. Alright, let's straighten it out. Perfect. Maybe, hopefully. Probably not. See once we get closer. Oh, keep the nose down. When you change direction, it doesn't like doing that. It likes to keep doing what it was doing before. So it kind of fights to continue on the same trajectory. Alright, I need to move left a tad bit more, I think. That shouldn't be a problem. Lots of time. We've got a pretty good speed going on. What is the... How do we brake? Is it B or spacebar? Spacebar, that's not going to decouple stuff, is it? I can turn off my engines very quickly with X, which I don't want to try right now because I think jet engines take a second to get back up to speed, which I'm sure we'd have more than enough time, but I need to get left more a little bit still. I don't really want to take the risk. Let's throttle back a tiny bit. Right, we're aligned now. Oh, no, 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 no. Now we're too much to the left. Oh my god. This is not working. I'm going to land this time. It's all or nothing. Put our gear down. All or nothing. It's going to end horribly bad. Oh god. We're falling too fast. Throttle back up a little bit. Oh god, we're rising too fast. Uh-oh, no. Well, so much for that. It was going so well, and then I started to make changes too quickly, and well then, now we know what we have to do. We have to go destroy these buildings and see if they are destructible. One thing we might say for a later date is you can kind of make some makeshift rockets that you can launch from aircraft. Basically, they're little rocket engines strapped to a small piece of a small wing or something that just kind of flies straight ahead of you and hopefully hits your target. I've seen people make them before in videos, and they look absolutely hilarious. And hopefully pretty simple, just as long as they don't hit your own aircraft after you launch them. But launching them at buildings from a distance, from like this distance, would be, I think, very much a lot of fun. Let's launch. Let's go kamikaze. One thing too, when we get into more complicated craft, we'll have to watch our heat. We'll see stuff start to overheat at that point. There we go. Our jet engines are just now reaching 100%. So it takes time for them to warm up. And take off. Gear. Let's gain some altitude. Need to watch our... That's our surface speed though, so... If we're climbing, if we're going straight up, our surface speed is going to be practically 0. If it's straight up, it will be 0. We could try something fancy like a loop or something too. Maybe I'll try that when we get up to altitude. I don't know what kind of altitude I'm going to go for. Maybe I'll stop at... We're still gaining speed. Let's bank a little bit. Climb a little bit steeper. Maybe we'll stop at 5,000 feet. Meters, I guess it is. I don't know what altitude jet engines start having trouble, but it said these ones are made for more of a high altitude thing. And they've got the air ram scoop thing that'll help them get a little more oxygen. Okay, we're over 5,000. I wasn't paying attention. Let's start. Woo! Let's try something fancy like oh god, that's never ever gonna work. Oh, there! I forgot about this thing too. If you hit caps lock, you can see down in the bottom left corner the yaw, roll, and pitch term toggle between blue and orange. I think the blue is a little bit more sensitive on the controls, although it doesn't seem to be making much difference. Let's bank this thing around as fast as scarily possible. I'm pitching upwards all the way. Get that nose back down. Woo, woo. Aircraft doesn't like it. Oh, there's that other runway down below us. Just a little short dirt one, so landing on it is difficult. You know, now that I think of it, I think when I tried to land on it the one time, I ended up crashing into one of the buildings that are next to it. Maybe control locks the pitch or something like that. I don't know, I think it just makes it more sensitive or less sensitive or something. I can't remember exactly. Your tips are very much welcome. It's been a long time since I played this, and I wasn't particularly good or knowledgeable of it at the time either, so... But one of these next times we're going to have to try to make a aircraft, or a spacecraft that'll get out of orbit and maybe to the moon. We're getting back a little bit later too. Need to do a little more planning and stuff. We'll maybe enjoy the sandbox mode a little bit more too before we move on to career and do things such as create some kind of super crazy rocket with death and destruction. We could try to get a station going in orbit. can try to dock with it. It's just so many things we can do, and oh my god, the hours it'll take me to do it is just insane. So maybe this game will be the topic of a live stream at some point, although given the audio recording issues I've had, I don't know if I can even record game audio for a live stream. Right now I've got some weird setup where I've got Audacity recording my voice and the game sounds because Fraps and my live stream program will only detect my voice. It does that for some games for whatever reason, including BeamNG Drive, but now that I found kind of a workaround, spent like half an hour trying to figure out a workaround, Googled it, no one else seems to be having the same problem, but anyway, let's worry about this. We're going to crash into the VAB, the Vertical Assembly Building. I want to call it the Vertical Assault Building. We'll launch missiles out of it. Right, we're coming in really hot. Need to make sure we don't miss it or crash into the ground beside it. Lower our gear because that'll help us so much. And is it destructible? Aw, man. Pretty sure it's destructible. Is there a setting I have to turn on, or is it not destructible in sandbox mode? Alright, let's go back to the Space Center. And there's got to be somewhere. Hold on, I'm going to research this. Alright guys, so I looked it up and it looks like there isn't anywhere to enable or disable the destruction of that building. However, it seems that they take a certain amount of explosives to do so. So I'm thinking if either I crash into it again, or maybe if I choose a smaller building, then it'll, ooh, I'm losing control, be more easily destructed, then that could be the key to it. So I'm going to try a smaller building here and we'll see what happens. Oh man, I'm trying to be too maneuverable with this thing. It is not going well. Right, dive, 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 dive. Don't miss, don't miss. Perfect. Oh yeah, there it goes. You could almost recreate 9/11 with this. I don't know if it's a good thing or not, but there you go. Let's try reverting to launch. Let's try a different building, if I can hit one. Taking off again. I tried putting on the brakes and then throttling up to wait for my engines to heat up, but the engine just simply pushed the aircraft with the brakes on anyway, so it didn't work out, and I can't take off until I get to the end of the runway, because I just barely make an get up to speed at that point. Alright, right away, this is what I did last time, just immediately started turning, and my aircraft did not crash to the ground like a rock, but now that I've been recording it, probably will. We'll try for the hangar, if I can hit it. Woo, wrong way, wrong way. I'm going upside down. Oh my god, am I actually going to hit it? Oh, jeez. It didn't go down, though. Maybe if we try again. Alright, I can't believe I hit that. That was such a sketchy flight path there. I could just point my plane right at there and just drive into it right away, but that's not as fun. Otherwise, maybe my plane needs to have a bigger boom. I don't know if it has health points that I'm wearing away at, or if it just simply needs to be a certain sized impact. This thing handles like a fighter at times, jeez. I'm quite impressed by this thing. I can't believe that it actually worked and that it works reasonably well. Let's try to hit it again. Uh-oh, I'm not going to hit it. Oh, well, maybe. Maybe. I hit it, but it did no good. Alright, so let's try one more time. We'll aim for a different building this time. I think it needs to be a bigger, larger impact to actually do damage. But the idea of this feature is that if you're, say, over there launching and you drop your solid rocket boosters down to back to Kerbin, If they hit one of your buildings, they could cause some serious problems. They could destroy one of your buildings, and I think in the campaign you probably have to pay to get them repaired, which would suck. I wonder if they reworked the physics of flying since last time I played. Maybe that's why I'm having an easier time. Oh, I'm struggling a little bit, but making it work. Let's hit a different building than last time. Oh, we're going in. And it's still standing. Oh, come on. I guess that's a relatively large building. Maybe they're not. That is a large building, actually. Maybe they're not all destructible, too. Maybe I can hit either that one there or this one here, and they will go down. I've got to try again now. Alright. One more hit, and then that will actually be the last attempt. You know what? Let's just cut the power here. See if I can't just drive off the runway into him. It's not working out very well. My ability to turn is rather minimal. We're just going to be a ground-based missile. I can't turn into the buildings. Oh, we did it! Nice. Oops. Very nice. Alright, I'm happy now. It didn't completely come down. The roof is gone. I imagine it looks the same every time it's destructed, regardless of where you hit it from. The control tower has fallen into it. And the whole rest of the thing just looks like it's been through a lot. A very cool little feature. Nice little effect. If you ever take off and you're a couple thousand meters in the sky, and you drop your solid rocket boosters and you see a large explosion below you, a larger than usual explosion, then you probably hit a building. That's one of the bigger buildings there that I hit. That'll do, the hangar. Yeah, I'm happy with that. But we're gonna leave it off there. So thank you everybody for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.